Live. All right. Looks like we're ready to get started. So, welcome everyone to our Workflow Live series. If you haven't been a part of this series, let me tell you a little bit about what it's all about. So, the Workflow Live series was created to answer one of the most common questions we saw from accounting firms. And that question was, how are other firm owners solving their biggest workflow challenges? How are they streamlining their processes? How are they driving productivity? So, we created this to bring real firm owners just like you on to share their actual workflows. And we got Peter with us today, which I'm excited for what he's going to be sharing. But the goal is not only to see like what they created and why they created it, but actually at the end of the day, for you to be able to walk away with that template. So if you like what you see, if you like the workflow that we're covering, you can actually take it, get it, and download it and use it in your firm today. So it's very actionable. And really our ultimate goal with all of this is not just to help you build better workflows, but to help the entire accounting community build better workflows. And we think the best way to do that is by sharing ideas and collaborating on how to build those together. So that being said, before we actually hop into the Workflow Live, I want to share something exciting with you guys that we released a few months ago. That's part of this mission to really elevate accounting workflows. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. And then I want to share our new template library. So I'm not sure if you have seen this before, but if you haven't, we have this new template library that we've created. But the thing that's special about this template library, it's not templates created by me or our team. It's actually a community driven library, which means it's real firm owners just like you sharing their processes to it. And we have over 100 processes and templates in this library already. So it's real firm owners sharing how they're doing their monthly bookkeeping processes, their tax returns, their 1099s, their cleanups, their onboardings. You can go in here, find a template that fits your needs, see how people have documented and created their processes. And then if you like it, you can download it. Or if you're using Financial Sense, you can instantly add it to your account to start using it. So this is really the goal, is to really create better templates together as a community. And the thing that powers this, right, is people's willingness and ability to share templates. So just like Peter's coming on today to share his template with you, which you can actually find in here, right? His templates that he's going to be sharing is in this library. But we encourage others to share, because at the end of the day, the best way we're going to create a powerful library of templates is by us working together and collaborating together. So one of the main asks I'm going to ask of you, if you're actually getting value today, go to your Financial Sense account. If you have a template that you think is worth sharing, share it. Because the more you're willing to share, the more others are willing to share. And the more we're all going to grow together and benefit from that. So the last thing I want to show you then is how you can do that. So if you're interested in actually sharing a workflow template to our library, you can do that by going to your Financial Sense account. Let me pull this up. So when you're in your Financial Sense account, basically, if you go to your templates, find a template that you want to share to the library. So let's say I want to share this 1065. You'll see a share template button up here. When you click that, you can share it. And then here you'll see the opportunity to share it to the library. If you do that, it's then going to add it to that library I was showing you earlier. So then people can view it, but also like it's going to contribute to creating and building that library that we can all benefit from. So again, just find a template and click share templates. It's that simple. So that being said, I'm going to drop in the link to the template library if you guys are curious into the chat. So you have it. And let's go ahead and kick this off. So today we have Peter, who's coming on to share one of his processes that he's created to really streamline his weekly and monthly planning process. Peter, I'm excited to have you on. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about you and the firm?
Uh, thank you very much, Ram. I'm ecstatic to be here. I've been using Financial Sense on and off for a number of years. Stress the on. uh, I work with a very small accounting firm, Pathway Group, that deals with small businesses, and oftentimes the Pathway Group deals with or is a business's first accounting firm. So uh, we're located in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada, which many of you will know. We're near Toronto. You'll know Toronto, and you may know Waterloo, which is a tech hub in Canada. Uh, and that's the long and short of it. Me about me.
Perfect. Peter, thanks for that introduction. So let's jump in and let's talk about the template that you're going to be sharing with us today. So tell us just a little bit of what is this template all about? Why did you create it? And what are some of the benefits you've seen from it?
So I'm going to be sharing what I call my Monday template, which is a list of things that I need to do every Monday to run my business. So I've been in over the years. I've been in a variety of businesses. I've been a software developer. I was a web designer, a restaurant manager. At every one of those businesses, we had checklists. So I've carried that through to my days uh, uh, in the accounting world. When I started in the accounting world, I had a handwritten list that I wrote. It had, and I would physically check it off every day. As I got more savvy, I made an Excel spreadsheet and I would print that off every day and check off my tasks every day, every week, and every month. I have three different ones. And then I got the bright idea when I was using Financial Sense that, hey, wait a minute, Financial Sense is a project template, or deals with projects. Checklists are effectively very simple projects. So I automated my many of my business functions into a uh, reoccurring template. So I have a Monday, a monthly, and a daily one that I use. And we're going to talk about the Monday one today, I
Perfect.
think.
Awesome.
So,
That's exciting. So let's jump on in. And I want to remind anyone, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll try to get to them as we walk through this template. So Peter, feel free to go ahead and start sharing your screen, pull up the template, and show us how you set it up, and talk us through why the way you set it up the way you did.
okay, so we're looking at my live financial sense account. One thing you'll notice is I have a client called admin. And if you don't have a client admin, I would encourage you to do that. Because when I'm sorting through my tasks, I sort based on one of the many ways I can sort, because frankly, there's a lot of ways, is through client. So you see, I have a daily checklist, I have a Monday checklist and a monthly checklist. I have some other internal tasks to keep me organized, and we're going through a website redesign, and so I keep some tasks in there. Um, this is my Monday checklist. So I have it organized in three different ways, three different categories, scheduling tasks. So when we click on this, these are really simple, and my tasks are going to be different than yours, but these are reminders for me. So I reread my previous week's daily pages and notes. I still have a handwritten planner because my brain works best that way. And then I review projects and schedules and schedule what's important. This one is I take a look at what I have scheduled for the week in Financial Sense, and I remind myself to add it to my weekly schedule. So I have operational tasks. I check my monthly calendar for other things, for example, networking events or doctor's appointments or birthdays, holidays, etc. And then I remind myself to schedule that accordingly. And then here's another one. I check my weekly. In addition to, I should say, this is a little different. My first one is projects that are not accounting based. So they might be uh, I'm a musician, so I might schedule some time with friends to jam. And this one here, operational tasks, I check my weekly financial sense projects, and then I manually schedule them as well as use the template. Uh, as well, I'm an old software developer and web designer, so I manage our own website. So this reminds me, verify website is up to date with current patches. I'm using WordPress, so this reminds me to take a look and update my site. um, I have backup and verify website is stored in my Google Drive. So I make sure that if catastrophe strikes, I'm less likely to be damaged by it. And I have another one for complete LinkedIn tasks and tracking. So I track my LinkedIn performance like many of us do. And then some optional tasks that may or may not happen every week, but I like to have them on my list just as a reminder. So plan a weekly blog post uh, right during the week. Uh, and then I post the post if I wrote it because sometimes I forget. I check the Google Trends, see what keywords are trending. It helps me with SEO. And then check my social media calendar and make sure I have things posted. And one of my favorite things is now I've already done this. This is this week's. I've already done all these. But if you haven't seen Financial Sense, I'm sure most of you have. But I start my day, my week, my month with uh, fireworks. So I'm hoping everybody has seen this. Um, so my day starts on a positive note when I do my tasks. If I could just say one more thing, um, Michael Hyatt he's from Full Focus. It's a planner organization and he has some executive coaching. He talks about rituals. Um, and rituals are a set list of tasks that you perform continually, and it helps focus your mind. So these checklists, the Monday one and the daily one and the monthly one, help focus me when I get into my office. I sit down at my desk and the first thing I do is my the checklists for whatever it is, either daily every day or if it happens to be monthly or Monday. And these are sort of my uh signaling my brain that it's time to get to work. So that was my mentality for creating the lists. It's always good to start your day off having success. And frankly, completing these checklists ensures I'm not going to get a client call uh, uh, that I forgot about a meeting, or I'm not going to miss an important networking event or appointment. And that was sort of the whole point to these checklists for me. They focused my mind and they provide a mechanism to pay attention to what I'm doing, sort of to approach the day deliberately instead of just schedule everything and then hope for the best.
Yeah, that's exciting. So I love what you did here. One, I love how you start your day with fireworks. Which shout out. I don't know if she's on. Kelly Parks can't help us come up with a confetti firework idea. It's a fan favorite. But I really like how you integrated not just like because a lot of firms just use financial sense for client work, but you're actually integrating a lot of like your daily work or like your operational work or even some of your social stuff in here because you're already managing it in one place, all your client work. Why not keep it all where you're already living? Because then it sounds like you're less likely to miss it if it was like somewhere else, right?
If I can add, uh, um, I'm very being my profession is part of who I am, like everyone. It doesn't mean it isn't 100% of who I am,
Hmm.
but it's a very large part. So for me to separate my personal and my professional life and my corporate life, as you were, made no sense to me. If I can, Financial Sense provides a mechanism to integrate everything. So I decided to um, make the best of it and use Financial Sense to help me in that regard. So uh, um, these admin checklists that I call them
Yeah,
make it really easy for me to confidently go through my week.
yeah. No, that's great. So, and I think like for if someone came in late, I know there are some people. By the way, there is a recording of this. You'll be able to watch this across the social channels. Davida, I don't know if we're sending out a recording, but we may also be sending out a recording. But I think one of the key takeaways, like Peter is saying, is you can not just manage your client work here. You can manage like all other types of tasks that you need to do. And what's really powerful about creating checklists for those things is the habits you build. And if you can build good habits, you can consistently ensure that you're going to get things done. So is there any questions? I did see one question. Feel free to drop them in the chat or Q&A if you guys have any questions. But I did see one question. I believe it's not specifically related to this template that you shared, but someone asked, "Hey Peter, I'm also Canadian. How do you manage templates for T1 clients? I have 700 plus T1 clients and 2 additional staff. It feels like the dashboard could become quite overwhelming if all T1 clients were there." So I guess the real question is with your T1 clients, are you just creating them all as individual projects in financial sense? Do you have a way to where like a special way you do that to prevent the dashboard from having too much on it?
So yes. So one of the best ways I found to do that is when I create. So you can create a task for a client. So you create a client and then you assign tasks to it. The difficulty of 700 T of scheduling 700 T1 projects at the same time is you're going to get overload. So you can either attach, so you can either attach, create a, like I created the admin, you could create a T1. And then in the project name, you could create, say, um, John Smith T. You can create a T2 T1 project, and then John Smith dash. When you actually create the work for the client, you could create T1 and name it T1 slash John Smith, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can skip when you sort, you get all your T1 clients in a row. And if you call them say XXX, they'll appear at the bottom of your list, and you'll have other tasks you can take care of before that. But the other thing you could do is not schedule until you're ready to take on the client work, not schedule all 700 clients at once, because if you do that, then you're going to get paralysis, effectively what looks like um, some sort of paralysis where you look like you're going to be overwhelmed. And that takes a little more discipline, because now you're actually, I just thought of a good alternative for that. So pardon me. But if you created only the projects for the clients you needed, then you wouldn't run into that. You can't do 700 T1s in a week, but you may be able to do, I'm not sure how many. But if you added, see, I have internal tasks. So if my internal tasks, John Smith calls and says, I want to do a I need a T1 tax return. And you say to yourself, can't get to John Smith for 2 weeks. So then you create an internal task, John Smith T2, and then you schedule that for 2 weeks out. And then 2 weeks come up, Financial Sense reminds you. And now you say, oh, I have to create a project for John Smith. And you create a T1 project for John Smith. Sorry, I just thought of that one. I'm rambling a little bit, Sharam, but
Yeah.
actually, I think that might be a good potential solution.
Yeah, that could be a good potential solution. And I mean, there are other ways some firms do it, right? Like we actually would suggest you having an individual project for each T1 because you want to be able to track those returns. But what Peter's saying about don't create it until you're actually ready to schedule the work. So the work is not all in that view all at once. But there is a recommendation here in the chat. Like you could actually use groups to break client work into manageable bites. That is true. You could like have multiple work items in a single project if you wanted to do that. Um, but you have to decide, you do lose a little bit of visibility with that, right? Because you can't see all the due dates of those individual projects on the dashboard if they're all on one project. So it's really the trade-off between if you want more visibility or you want less in that view. But what we typically see and recommend is people do break them all the T1s out individually. Okay, so are there any other questions that people want to drop into the chat? There will be a recording of this if that is one of the questions. Um, I also want to mention, if you liked Peter's template, you want to actually use it, you can get it by clicking. You should see Peter's face down below us, and it'll say get it here. You can click that to access the template in the template library, and you can download it. So it looks like we don't have any questions. So Peter, if you don't mind, if you could unshare your screen. I just want to close with one. I want to thank all of you guys for joining us here today, but I want to make a reminder. We're doing these Workflow Live series, I believe, every single month. So we're going to be having real firm owners coming on and sharing their processes, whether it's like an operational process, an internal process, how they're doing a bookkeeping, a tax process. This is a great place for you guys to see how other firm owners just like you are tackling their biggest workflow issues and documenting and creating these powerful processes in financial sense. But a core thing that I want you to take away with is it's not just what happens here in the Workflow Live series, it's what we do outside of it. And that's what our template community, the template library community, I'm going to share that again just in case some people missed that earlier. But that's what this template community, library community is all about, right? This is a place where firm owners can actually come and share and view other processes that other firms have created. They can get ideas, creativity on how to build better workflows. And it's really through collaboration that we're all going to be able to build the best workflows possible and accomplish our goals. And that's what this series, that's what the template library is all about. So if you guys are getting value out of this, if you want to build better workflows, I want to really encourage you guys to actually go into your Financial Sense account and share templates that you think others might find valuable, just like Peter has done here. I'm going to show you quick again how you can actually do that. So inside your Financial Sense account, if you go to a template, you have a template that you want to share to this community because you know it's going to benefit others, and ultimately it's going to come back to you because the more you share, the more others will share. You can go here and click share template. And when you're sharing it, you have the option to share it to the template library here. And when you do that, we'll be able to approve it and push it live. And that is how we're going to build the best template community where firm owners from all over the world can build better workflows together, because that is what our ultimate goal is here. And if you're enjoying this, come back next month for our Workflow Live. We're going to be doing this a lot more. We're excited to bring this back. Yeah, and that's it, everyone. So that's a wrap. Peter, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. If I can add one more thing.
Yeah.
I just want to say to you and the entire Financial Sense team, this ability to share templates as a community is a killer feature and probably the most important feature in Financial Sense. Because frankly, we, contrary to what many people believe, we live in a society of abundance and there's enough for everybody. So if we share, we are far better off as an industry and as a community. So I appreciate your template library. It's such a perfect opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
I agree with you. Like, that's the thing I love about the accounting industry. It's so community driven. Like when we go to these conferences, everyone's so willing to share all these ideas, and that's kind of where it came from. And we've already had over 100 firm owners share processes in this library. Why can't we create a library with thousands of amazing templates and all build them together? So I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay. Well, Peter, thank you. Everyone, thank you for joining us. Take care. We'll see
I
you guys next
appreciate
month.
the opportunity.